One of the great things about big city living is that you don't need a car to get around. You can hop aboard a bus, train, or streetcar, and it will take you almost anywhere. In Boston, the workers at the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, or MBTA, are the ones that keep those wheels turning and move commuters safely throughout the city.
Work on the diesel buses, do everything from routine maintenance like oil changes, body work to engine and transmission overhauls.
I actually work on non-revenue equipment, which is basically anything that has a T on the side of it that's not a bus or a train.
I didn't go to college. My mother worked for the T, my stepfather, and I thought it's a good secure job to have, and I applied and I started as a fueler and then I became a mechanic.
Having a good union contract has given these T employees the opportunity to live the American dream. But very soon that could change. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker wants to privatize MBTA bus maintenance services at the Lynn, Quincy, and Boston facilities by bidding out jobs to for-profit companies, all just to save a few bucks.
I mean, I do own a home. I could possibly lose my home.
You know, I have 3 daughters. One just graduated high school, so she's hopefully going to college, you know, within the next year. So we probably won't be able to afford that if I lose my job. That's, you know, out of the picture.
In 2015, on the heels of a challenging winter, Governor Baker asked lawmakers for an exemption from the Taxpayer Protection Act, also known as the Pacheco Law. Normally, this law says for a company to start farming out work, they would first need to prove that a private contractor will provide cheaper and equal quality service. But in this case, with Boston under a mountain of snow, the legislator let the governor make the decision without proof. It may be good for business, but it's bad for workers.
He used the worst winter, arguably the worst winter in the history of Massachusetts in 2015. The MBTA shut down for 3 days. The trains shut down, not the buses. Yet we're targeting bus maintenance now. Buses ran at 98%. They were really the only means of public transportation that was running at the time during some of those blizzards.
We had members that would show up with bedrolls and coolers because they knew that it was going to be days before they could go home and care for theirs, before they could go home and make sure that their driveways were shoveled and that their families were safe and warm. They took care of business first. Certainly, no one can say that bus ever failed.
And IAM members didn't stop there, putting their all into a job when it was needed most. Machinist Mike Haywood came up with the idea of mounting a skid steel loader onto rail car wheels to clear snow off the train tracks, an idea that saved both time and money.
And what they were going to do is they were going to hire prisoners to shovel the train tracks, and that was their savior. They were going to have people physically shovel the train tracks. And we had like 6 or 8 feet of snow in a couple of weeks span. And I mean, for every 100 yards that the prisoners had shoveled, I mean, we did 2 or 3 miles with the machine the prototype that I invented. And then we took that prototype and brought it to John Deere and to Mitchell Rail Gear, and they were able to kind of expand on my design, and they made what we have now.
At a public hearing before the Transportation Committee in 2015, Governor Charlie Baker made the following statement.
I do not want to privatize the city. I do not want to slash services. I do not want to lay off hundreds of people.
Personally, it bothers me because we were lied to by the governor.
Anyone that has under 10 years of service would lose their pension and retirement security in an instant.
Since 24 years old, I've invested nights, weekends, holidays. I missed the last few Thanksgivings and Christmases with my grandparents. Stuff that you can't really get back. But all of that was with the premise that I was going to get the pension.
You know, we've always been told swipe of a pen and it's gone. And that's exactly what we're looking at now. And this fight that's before us now it's that easy. You know, we've proven time and time again that what we have, you can't beat.
The MBTA has the best maintenance mechanics in the country, averaging 13,000 miles between breakdowns despite an aging infrastructure and equipment. That's unheard of in this industry.
There's been a lack of investment for generations at the MBTA. The state of good repair of the facilities, the state of good repair of the equipment and the infrastructure is subpar because of a lack of an investment for 20 or 30 years.
If they invested and gave us the money that we need, the facilities that we need, the tools that we need, we could triple that or quadruple that if they invested in us instead of trying to get rid of us.
I mean, we're the best of the best of the best, and I don't want somebody stealing my American dream.
Keolis, the private company that runs the commuter rail at the MBTA, is proof that privatization doesn't always yield positive results.
The riders are the ones that suffer. They don't get the quality of service, they don't get to work on time, they're standing at train stations waiting for a train that never arrives. So you don't have to look very far and you see failed privatization right here at the MBTA.
IAM Local Lodge 264 members have offered the MBTA nearly $29 million in annual savings, which is well above the targeted $21 million. However, efforts to privatize continue to move forward.
Here's a union that's willing to work with you, membership that voted unanimously to open up their contract and renegotiate their contract for these cost savings, and all they want in return is job security.
24/7, these workers keep the city safe and commuters moving. The buses they service carry our children, friends, and family to school, doctor's appointments, and work. They are the lifeblood of Boston's transit system. Now it's the governor's turn to help keep this great city one of the best and proudest transportation hubs in the country. The machinists are ready, willing, and able to continue making that happen.
The bottom line is nobody knows the industry like those that apply it daily. This is our livelihoods. Public transportation. It's not for sale. It's not for profit.
For the Machinist News Network, I'm Valana Cochran.